Call to order at 7:12 this town council hybrid meeting on October 10th, 2023. Everyone can please rise for the pledge of allegiance, followed by a moment of silence. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We'll be seated. Item 4, proclamations and presentations. We have none. That brings us to item 5. Public petitions, communication, and public participation on any subject within the jurisdiction of the town council with a 2-minute limit. If you are on Zoom, you can hit the *9 or raise hand function. Otherwise, if you're in the audience, you can approach the table and state your name and address for the record. Just a quick housekeeping note, if you're here in regards to either public hearing item, there will be public participation during that portion of the meeting. All right, Sean Lappin, I'll ask you to unmute.
Hello. Sean Lappin, 168 Mountain Spring Road. I have much to say at the moment about the water issues that are continuing at 168 Mountain Spring, but the comments expressed by Mr. Foley at the last town council meeting about it being time to move forward with a solution-based ideas have left me cautiously optimistic. I will refrain from further comment at this time in the hopes that we will see some substantive progress this evening and a pathway moving forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Sean. Anyone in person? All right, seeing none, we'll go back to Zoom. Going once, going twice for public comment. 3 times. That brings us to item 6, public hearing items. 6.1, consideration of resolution to modify chapter 51 of the Tolland Town Code regarding the license suspension and revocation process for adult-oriented establishments.
This was a ordinance change championed by Councilman Luba. The intent of the proposed change is to clarify the process and activities necessary for the town director of development and/or the public safety director to begin the process to issue a suspension or revocation of a town issued license to operate an adult-oriented establishment. Proposed modification will require the town director of development and/or public safety director to revoke a license if a licensee is arrested for any criminal offense. If the adult-oriented establishment is the subject of any enforcement activity, including but not limited to building or fire code, liquor enforcement, or law enforcement criminal investigations, or if the adult-oriented establishment is the subject of any local, state, or federal seizure or asset forfeiture proceedings. Additionally, the proposed modification would change the appeals process so that any appeal by a town council following a license suspension or revocation is binding and final. The town council voted on September 26, 2023 to set tonight's public hearing.
All right. And I see there's also no financial impact, and the town attorney has reviewed the proposed ordinance. All right, so just jumping over really quick to the town council procedures, I believe. Councilman Murray, did we receive any correspondence regarding the hearing?
We do have one email correspondence that I will forward to the clerk for inclusion in our packet regarding against this change.
Are there any comments from councilor before we open the public hearing?
I'll reserve any comments until afterwards.
All right, sounds good. So with that being said, I'll take a motion to open the public hearing.
So moved.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
So moved by Council Luba, second by Councilman Yudichak. And because we have one member remote, we'll do all votes. So Councilman Yudichak.
Aye.
Councilor Luba.
Aye.
Councilman Nucci, I'll ask you on mute.
Aye.
Vice Chair Regan. Aye. Councilor Khan. Councilor Murray.
Aye.
And I'm an aye, so that is unanimous. So the hearing is now open. So if anyone would like from the public to speak, they can approach the table. And we'll also start with Zoom. And I see a hand raised, Mr. Ian Butler. So I'll ask you to unmute. All right, you should be all set.
Okay, great. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, we can. Thank you.
Okay, great. Yes, my name's Ian Butler. I'm an attorney. I represent Denning Enterprises, which operates Electric Blue Cafe at 62 Merrow Road. I submitted a letter by email. I just wanted to comment on it and bring it to the council's attention. I believe you just mentioned a moment ago acknowledging receipt of that email. I assume it was my email.
Yes.
So we had submitted this letter because after looking into the law, it's our opinion that one of the changes, specifically the change proposed to Chapter 51-10, and that outlines the procedure after there's a revocation or a suspension of an adult establishment license. One of the changes being made would be to strike language that allows the licensee to file an appeal, and for that appeal to stay the town's revocation or suspension. That change, in our opinion, violates the due process clause under the law because it does not provide the applicant a right to notice in a hearing prior to their license being revoked or suspended. I've submitted a letter that further outlines this and includes some citations to case law. I know that the matter was referred to the town attorney. I do not know whether the legal issues that we've noted in our letter, since it was just submitted this morning, have been forwarded or considered. We'd at the very least encourage the town council to review the particular issue that we've raised with respect to due process. But the crux of the matter is that it deprives the license holder of a property right, and their business license is a property right. And for them to not have a right to defend themselves or explain their version of the story before that's revoked would cause them damage or damage their business immediately. The current wording of the regulation, or the 51-10 section of the code, it does immediately revoke the license rights, but because of the inclusion of that part about the appeal causing a stay on the revocation, that in some ways brings it back into compliance with the due process, because now there would have to be a hearing before the revocation takes effect. And so we would request that the town council leave that provision as is in order to better comply with the law. That's it. I have nothing further. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Butler. All right. Again, is there anyone from the public who will go back and forth in person and Zoom? So if anyone in public that would like to speak. Okay. Seeing none, any on Zoom? All right, going once, going twice. Entertain a motion to close the public hearing.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
So moved by Councilor Luba, seconded by Councilor Murray. And we'll do the roll call vote. Councilman Udacek,
Aye.
Councilor Luba,
Aye.
Councilman Nuccio,
Aye.
Vice Chair Regan.
Aye.
Councilor Khan.
Aye.
Councilor Murray.
Aye.
And I'm an aye, so that is unanimous. So the hearing is now closed. Is there any other comment from councilors? Councilor Luba?
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. I did have an opportunity to review the letter that was sent by council for Deming Associates or Deming Corporation. That upon my review of it, that I still feel that the language as proposed is on firm ground. That some of the cases that would apply would be Teletech Connecticut Corp. Versus Department of Public Utility Control. That's a Connecticut Supreme Court case 2270 Connecticut 778, 2004 case, basically setting forth that that on anything involving licenses that an entity can suspend license, and so long as they give the opportunity for somebody to come into compliance, that's something that can be that can happen, that we can go forward with that suspension of license and still give them the opportunity and then to have their license reinstated, that there's also the opportunity for appeal. And that the opportunity to appeal to the town council and have that hearing still satisfies the due process clause. I feel that we're on solid ground. That being said, that I would have no objection. I would actually request that we get an opinion from the town attorney on this matter. That in the alternative, if it's something that would need to be addressed, is that as almost a sort of in between, is to have the the revocation stay. Well, one thing I would like to have them take a look at is seeing if having the revocation stay during the period of time where the town council has hearing, that may further, I mean, I know that would definitely satisfy the due process requirements. Even though I still feel that we're on firm ground with it, but that, I would stand by the language proposal, removing the stay of it after any final decision made by the town council. But, I would still ask for that review by the town attorney. Thank you very much, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Councilor Lubak. Are there any comments or questions from council members?
I'll just make a comment. I think that we just said it should be run by an attorney, just to be on the safe side. No.
All right.
And that has been delivered to our town attorney friend.
Did he respond or anything like that?
What's that?
Did you respond?
No.
No, just the,
You just got this out.
All right.
all right. So with that being said, I would entertain a motion to approve the changes as outlined with the notion that this has been referred to our town attorney to review the language. Or did you have a proposed amendment to the,
I would just ask, I think that let's wait until the final vote on it, and then if there's any needs for changes, then, I mean, I think that's something that's, we've had the opportunity to have a hearing on it, and that's essentially would satisfy the hearing requirement, and we can make any appropriate changes as necessary at the final vote, at the end of the month, hopefully.
okay,
I guess I have a question,
yep,
a
Councilor.
procedural question.
Yeah,
If if our town attorney recommends a change to the proposed language, should we keep the public hearing open so that changes, I guess we can't, we close the public hearing. Do we have to have another public hearing? If we change the language?
yeah, if there were, I believe if there were another revision, Brian, you can correct me too if I'm wrong, but any future revisions would require the same process that the town ordinance.
Definitively, I can't tell you yes or no, but to be on the safe side, it's probably not.
Okay,
So if there's, I guess that, with that being said, then I think that my request be is that we set a second public hearing on, for just, I guess, I don't know if we need to propose this exact language that's being offered, or if it's just something that we could continue the hearing on and then have the discussion, because I know that when we've done prior town code revisions, that we've sort of discussed it fully during the hearing and then move forward on the
okay.
vote.
So I think we could, in essence, probably reverse the closure of the public hearing, extend it. And we will wait for those opinions from our town attorney before making any final decision on the 24th.
So we want to withdraw the,
Yeah, so I'll entertain a motion to withdraw the public hearing closure.
So moved.
So by Councilor Luba,
I don't know who seconded it.
I think it was seconded by Councilor
I
Mudich.
can say it, but
Actually, no, you seconded.
Okay.
Councilor Ray, so. All right,
Close the
so
public hearing. Thank you, Lisa.
no problem. All right, so we'll do a roll call vote. Councilor Mudich,
I,
Councilor Luba,
Aye.
Councilman Nuccio, that's you on mute.
I,
Councilor Regan, Vice Chair Regan, Councilor Khan,
Aye.
Councilor Murray,
Aye.
and I am an aye, says unanimous, so we've withdrawn our closure of the public hearing, so I will entertain a motion to extend the public hearing to the October 24th regular meeting, pending a review from our town attorney of concerns from public.
So moved.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
I move by Councilor Luba, seconded by Councilor Mudich. All right, so we'll do a roll call vote. Councilor Mudich,
I,
Councilor Luba,
Aye.
Councilor Nuccio,
I,
Vice Chair Regan. Aye. Councilor Khan.
Aye.
Councilor Murray.
Aye.
And I said unanimous, so public hearing will be extended to the October 24th meeting, pending further review from the town attorney. So with that, thank you, everyone. That brings us to item 6.2. Consideration of resolution to amend chapter 46A of the town code, ordinance number 96, tax stabilization fund.
Steve,
Yes,
Everybody.
you had two or three public hearing items this year?
yes, we just finished the first one. We're extending it to the 24th. So tax stabilization is the second
Yeah,
one.
that's where we're at.
Yeah, we're at that one now.
Oh, I'm sorry, I thought they were getting, I
No, you're fine. Yeah, they're just.
apologize, everybody.
It's okay. Better safe than sorry.
Yeah,
I thought he was moving to them or to. Oh my.
all right. So with that, fine, you're good to go.
Okay, this was a change brought, championed by, the chair, and in relation to our tax stabilization fund. The, essence of it is the tax stabilization fund is a fund that exists to, really balance out our, I guess, our general fund. And the original was the max amount that the tax stabilization fund could not exceed $3 million. This ordinance change would bring it down to 1 million. I have my financial director, Lisa Hancock, in person here to answer any questions or explain it further should you need it.
Are there any questions from council members who are in the hearing? All right, seeing none, I'll entertain a motion to open the public hearing.
I'll make that motion.
So by Councilman Yudichak, is there a second?
Second,
Second by Councilor Luba, and we'll do the roll call vote. So Councilman Yudichak,
Aye.
Councilor Luba,
aye.
Councilor Nuccio,
Aye.
Vice Chair Regan. Aye. Councilor Khan,
Aye.
Councilor Murray,
Aye.
and I'm an aye, so that is unanimous. So the hearing is now open. If anyone from the public would like to speak on the matter, raise their hand with the raise hand function or star 9 on their phone, or can approach the table, speak publicly. Okay, going once for public participation, twice, 3 times. Okay, I'll entertain a motion to close the public hearing.
So moved.
Is there a second? Second by Councilor Murray. We'll do the roll call vote. Councilor Yudichak,
Aye.
Councilor Luba,
Aye.
Councilor Nuccio,
Aye.
Vice Chair Regan. Aye. Councilor Khan.
Aye.
Councilor Murray.
Aye.
And I'm an aye, so that is unanimous. Is there any further discussion on the proposed changes?
I have one question.
Councilor Murray.
At the end of fiscal year 23, do we have a balance of funds in the tax stabilization fund? Just to give us some perspective.
Yeah, I believe that may have been one of the questions. The current balance of the fund was 362, 452, and 25, and I think the estimated addition was gonna be what, 131, 53, or 131, 533.50 at the year end, making the balance in the fund increase to 493, 985, and 75 cents. So just shy of $500,000. Sorry, Lisa.
No, No, thank you. These questions in the packet, I think, are very pertinent. Seeing that the fund has never reached $1 million, right, Lisa? And so it doesn't seem like we're making a dramatic change to our financial policies by reducing this cap.
Yeah,
We're just putting it much closer to a realistic number than a $3 million number, which it has never even approached.
yeah. Any further discussion? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion to approve the changes as outlined in 6.2.
So moved.
So by Councilor Murray, is there a second?
Second,
Second by Councilor Luba. We'll do the roll call vote. Councilor Yudichak,
Aye.
Councilor Luba,
aye.
there you go. Councilor Murray or Councilman Nuccio,
Aye.
people left, so Vice Chair Regan. Aye. Councilor Khan.
Aye.
Councilor Murray.
Aye.
And I'm an aye, so it's unanimous. Thank you, everyone. That brings us back up to item 7A, reports of boards and committees responsible to the town council. So start with the road salt task force.
The Road Salt Task Force has a meeting tomorrow night.
Yep. We're gonna, I spoke with our town attorney today, at length, regarding the road salt task force. We are going to look at some solutions for specific address. We're gonna look at ways to make, our process more transparent, to include consideration of making the meetings open, especially once we're able to eliminate some of the claims, that were on there. We can move forward some solutions there. We would like to move to make our meetings more public more often. And that's where we stand right now.
And it is, I put in a request to the task force to have some sort of status update that can be transmitted to the next council. As appropriate, since we know there will probably be some changes
Yeah.
to who's sitting in these seats in a month. So we don't want this one to slip through the cracks. And I think we'll do our best to, within the constraints of what we have now, get a status update for the next council.
I think that, when the next council comes, Rick and I are gonna have to sit down and go through a laundry list of updates.
Yeah.
On, many matters, this one included. And we're gonna need somebody for sure, to come on when we lose Councilman Nuccio.
All right, and with that, Councilman Nuccio, I'll ask you to unmute. If there's anything you want to add?
Yeah, I had mentioned to Brian, I'd mentioned to Katie too, independently, one-on-one when I'd seen each of them, that I think it's time that we actually look at also adding, members of the public to the task force, people who are affected by this, so they can be involved with the whole task force going forward. So I don't know if that's something we do beforehand or afterwards, but I just think it's something that the council should really consider.
I think that's definitely good. I think, if we establish a task force, that might require, I don't think it'll require a hearing, but we can have it done in a meeting. I think the next council will make those changes, so.
Yeah. I agree, with Tammy's recommendation, and I think, based on the conversations with Rick and how we can move forward to be more transparent, I think the next council should probably decide on those steps going forward. But I think, we should be able to give some recommendations
Yeah.
on that for the next council to make those decisions.
Yeah. Thank you. And then Councilman, you check for ARPA?
Right, we haven't had a meeting since 2 weeks ago. We had the last meeting at the end of the month, but Recreation Advisory Board did not have a quorum last week, and the Mental Health Task Force also did not have a quorum last week, but I checked in with them because I couldn't go to that one. I think they're gonna be working on something to present a report to the council and suggest recommendations from the survey that we did months ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all I have.
All right, thank you. And then I forwarded a copy to Councilor Luba, but we received for the Firehouse Subcommittee an update from Megan Lassa. Read that really quickly. Good afternoon. I want to provide you with an update regarding the delivery date of the metal building for our project. The building steel and the wall panels are now scheduled to arrive in November. The contractor is confident that he'll be able to complete the construction and enclosure of the building before the onset of winter. This will allow him to focus on interior work during the colder months. And I read that to believe, I think they were initially worried that they were going to get that until December. So I think they're still on time and on budget with everything for that project. But we did cancel our meeting for last week as there was no pressing matters. And that was it for Firehouse. So let's get to 7B, reports of town council liaisons, and I'll start from my left with Councilor Murray.
I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry, Councilman Yudichak. You got a roll?
I know, I jumped the gun.
Oh, you're fine.
Yes, I already gave my report. Do I need to do it again?
No, you're good.
Yes.
I don't have any updates except that Historic District Commission has a meeting next Wednesday.
Councilor Khan.
I got nothing to report.
Mr. Egan.
Nothing to report this week.
Councilor Luba.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, that I did have, although it was not a formal meeting, that I had discussions with the chair of the VRC, and that there was questions regarding the ability to establish a nonprofit fund or establish a separate nonprofit organization that would be essentially affiliated with the VRC. That I forwarded on to Brian and Lisa, and there'll be further discussion regarding that.
I met with Vern this afternoon or this morning.
Yeah.
And recommended same. I think it's a good idea for them to establish a nonprofit. Since quote's probably gonna fall on your lap. But it's not that hard to do, and really it'll make the structure for providing, getting their funds.
Right, and I think that the biggest issue, because having dealt with nonprofits before, is since they're a town organization, is if they could be able to fall under the overarching town of Tolland nonprofit that we have already established, and be just essentially one of the arms of that overall nonprofit, or if they need to set up a completely separate one, but that's something we could discuss offline.
Okay.
Thank you. And I have no updates either. So that brings us to 8 new business. So 8.1 is an annual meeting of the Tolland Public Library Foundation to discuss reappointment of founding director, foundation directors, 2022-2023 accomplishments, 2023-2024 goals, and the 2023-2024 approved budget. Goals and overview of foundation activities over the past year. And with us tonight, we have Linda Byam and we have Barbara Pettyjohn. So if you guys want to approach the table, you can provide the update.
Thank you. Thanks for having us here tonight. My name is Linda Byam. I'm the president of the Tolland Public Library Foundation. As you know, so Barbara Pettyjohn, the library director. I also have, I believe, I don't see her now. There's Jan Ravine, our treasurer, who is on Zoom. She is a director on the library board. Library Foundation, and Lisa Hancock is also an ex officio member on our board. So this is the annual meeting where we report to you, as Steve mentioned, about our foundation directors, our accomplishments, our goals, and our budget. So basically, I'd like to give a little bit of background for people who might not know what the foundation is. Basically, what makes us a foundation is that we have an endowment, and the way that we got that money in the endowment is typically from bequests, from people who have left bequests either through their estate or through their will. And the majority of the funds that we have right now are restricted, meaning that we can't use them we have to use them for enhancements to the library services. We can't use them for staff personnel or capital improvements or things like that. Each bequest might have different restrictions, and as we do now, but the majority of our money is restricted. That being said, we work very closely with Barbara, and we will work with the new library director. But basically, we have this long-term vision of enhancing the library substantially through focused grants. And so we work with Barbara and her priorities to figure out what those enhancements should be. And I should mention that we did get a new bequest this year. We just received the second installment, and that was about $80,000 from the estate of Ivy Lynn Potapos. So that was our third major bequest that we received. So we supported the library in many different ways in its role in transporting or changing the role of a library from a book repository to really a central vital hub of a community. And in that vein, we provided several items, and one was a library case with a locking glass door, which houses the archival material and the historical documents, which are now behind lock and key, but it's glass and it's accessible. It is in the conference room in the library if you guys would like to take a peek at that. We funded a decorative print and frame that's hanging in the library reading nook. We purchased more lawn games that proved to be very popular to check out with patrons. We also supported a summer reading drummer program, which I understand was very well received. We also funded food, drinks, and puzzles for the March jigsaw puzzle competition, a bike repair kit and a soil meter kit for the community to check out from the library. And as part of National Library Week, the foundation recognized and thanked the library staff for their outstanding work that they continue to do on the behalf of the public. So in addition to making the library more of a hub, we also allocate significant funds to support electronic resources that are becoming more and more popular at the library. And first and foremost, the foundation continues to be the sole supporter, the funder of Hoopla, which is a popular streaming service for ebooks and other electronic digital material that's available for free to all patrons. We provided the funding for Universal Class, which is an online continuing education program, Biblioboard and Creator, which is a platform to create and share and publish digital media. We have funded 2 hotspots, mobile hotspots that patrons can check out, whether they don't have efficient internet at home for either work or school, but those are available to check out. We funded a premium Zoom license and as well as several databases, including ancestry.com, Job Now, and Event Keeper, which is a portion of how you register for programs at the library. We also support the library's robust fund schedule of programming, the adult and the children's programming. We continued with our 13th season of the popular Eaton Dimmick King author series, and we had 2 additional authors in this year, Karen Guzman and Kristen Higgins. One was on Zoom and one was back in person. We purchased a desktop computer and a mouse and a keyboard and the cables for the adult programming room, which is part of the whole AV system. We also purchased a laptop for the children's programming room, so that would be helpful in having their programming more seamless with digital media. And we also purchased a movie, we continue to renew the movie license service that allows Barbara to show those popular movies that she does to the public. So as well as providing those tangible items and services, we also support our administrative functions that support the foundation. And so we will stay a strong and valid endowment for years to come. So we will be able to support the library. So for example, we have a website that we support, and with the continued ability to make donations online, and we're actually looking into Venmo right now. I just got a note today about we might be able to be taking Venmo donations. We continue to increase the awareness of the foundation because a lot of people don't necessarily know the difference between the foundation and the Friends and the advisory board and the library. And the more we can increase that awareness, we are hopeful to get more bequests in the future and to continue the work that we do. We have a Facebook page and we have brochures that the library delivers to every new patron or gives out to every new patron. We're at Celebrate Tolland. We wrap a lot of Kindle. So hopefully, again, to just raise awareness. We have a database of donors and we try to raise our awareness with third-party donors like the Navity and the United Way and get some donations through them as well. So our goals. The one thing that we are working on right now, the Tolland Oral History Project is currently underway. And I think I mentioned this last year, but it will explore the lives of the residents of our town and bring their stories to life in a public and digital and performance venue. We've been in the process of taking interviews and recording those, and we're going to use those oral accounts to create this multimedia experience that will allow community members currently to understand and interact with the stories of the past. And we have one of our board members that is on she's a professor at Eastern Connecticut University in the theater arts program who is working on that. Again, we continue to provide focus grants to the library based on Barbara's her priorities and what she feels is her vision for the library. And we continue to improve that. We want to continue to improve that public business awareness. So we continue to get additional donations from third-party sources. I do want to mention that has been an absolute pleasure to work with Barbara for the past 12 years. And to be part of an organization that can provide support to her and along with her vision and dedication, provide programs and material to the patrons that absolutely would not be able to do without her vision and dedication. So thank you, Barbara. So in the last page of my letter to the council was the budget for 2024, which was approved by the board of directors at our last meeting, our September meeting. And our financial records are provided to the town's financial officer monthly. So our books are open. And so if there are any questions, I would be happy to answer them for you, or if I can't answer them, maybe somebody here can.
And then I think, Barbara, you have something you want to add?
Sure, yeah.
I just wanted to publicly express my gratitude to the foundation for all their support of the library. Year after year after year, request after request. The equipment, the programs, the databases, that's all wonderful, wonderful enhancements to the library that we would not have without the foundation. And they've been a great bunch of people to work with, very supportive, full of ideas. I love working with them. Thank you, Linda.
Thank you, Barbara. Open the floor to questions or comments. Actually, Brian, do you have a or something?
Yes, sir. Just a question.
Go ahead.
Your oral history, will that be available online?
Yes, at some point it will be potentially on the billboard or the online platforms, and it will be in some type of digital media. So yes.
Got it. And for council's own knowledge, Ms. Bynum will be involved in the replacement process of our library.
Thank you. And then, did you have your hand raised?
No.
Oh, I think you did. It's like, I wrote down for Luba.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. So, first off, thank you both. Thank you all for, for the work that you do. I mean, I think it's something that not many people recognize, all the time and effort that goes into the library and its planning and everything else. So I think it's an outstanding job between the foundation and between the library itself. And I think it's great about bringing up the differences between the different organizations, where the foundation is actually the main fundraising arm for the library. Because I know that I had, again, constituents from the town, residents from the town, asking about it when they saw that this was going to be on the agenda, about the role of the foundation in the library, because some people were, again, questioning and inquiring about the ability for parents to have input into some of the things that are going on in the library, some of the issues that we encountered, I believe, last year, within the past 2 years, there's still concerns about that. And so they wanted to know who it should be directed to. I told them that they need to be directed to the advisory board. But I'm hoping I'm right on that.
Yes.
Or Ms. Pettigrew herself regarding that to be addressed. But again, I think that you're all doing an incredible job, and thank you very much.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, Councilman Nuccio. Must be on mute.
Thank you. I can't put my camera on, so you're just gonna have to hear me and not see me. But I just wanted to say, I've been on the council for 6 years now, and Linda, you guys have done an amazing job, you and the entire committee. You've always come and you make these presentations and you show just how much value this organization provides to the town thoughtlessly and, thanklessly. So I just wanted to say that it has been an absolute pleasure, and I have enjoyed all of your presentations. I learned a lot, and I just want to again thank you and the organization for being such good proponents of the money that you have and how you use it, and really just what you've done for the library and the town. And Barbara, you too, I just want to say thank you for all the work that you guys do down there. And thank you. This is my last library presentation. So, a little weepy about that, but just want to say thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Nuccio, and I'll echo those comments. I think you guys do a phenomenal job. And, even though there's not a formal liaison position for the foundation, I know technically all the council members are ex officio members of the foundation board. It's great to sit in and learn what you guys are doing and getting the input and understanding where the driving goals are in terms of Barbara's requests from her subordinates. So, I think you guys keep doing great work, and looking forward to another successful year of keeping the library a vital place to the town.
Yeah. Thanks, Stephen. It was great to have you in our meetings. A lot of those great ideas were actually Steve's. Yeah.
Thanks. All right, any other questions from council members? All right, seeing none, thank you, Linda, thank you, Barbara, and we'll be in touch.
Thank you.
That brings us to 8.2, consideration of resolution authorizing the town manager to enter in a contract with the town assessor to perform the 2024 revaluation project in-house. And with us tonight, we also have Jason Lawrence. And I'll turn it over to Brian to provide additional details.
Yes, as you know, we are very fortunate in this town to have such a proficient town assessor, but also one that is capable of engaging in our reevaluation process. And we are able to get that at a much discounted rate, as Financial Director Hancock researched out. Each year we save a lot of money as compared to other towns. And when I say a lot of money, 30, 40,000 or something along those lines. At least it says hundreds of thousands. It's been a good relationship to have this arrangement with our, in my estimation, our assessor. So that's what we're looking to re-engage this year.
All right. And just one quick clarifying question. So, I mean, obviously you've done this in years past, but this doesn't substantially impact you or your staff to maintain and execute your normal day-to-day operations. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct. Right now, with a 4-day work week, it's doable. If that were to change, that could be a problem, but as long as we continue down that path of me being able to put in time on Fridays and Saturdays, it works out okay.
All right. Oh, so just to clarify, you actually come in on Fridays and Saturdays to do some of this work outside of your time?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, this is, so normal project supervision for an assessor would be, sometime day to day as the project is going on during the course of the year, but there's probably minimal of that I've had to do in the last 2 revals. Most of it is Friday and Saturday hours reviewing. Reviewing takes the most time, going from house to house, verifying data, and then inputting that data to our CAMA system, which is the appraisal software. So, I haven't had a problem with the last 2 revals with the schedule, so I don't see how there will be a problem going forward. But it is a 6-day work week at that point. So,
And when you said you go house to house, is that something that you do in a town issued vehicle?
Yep.
To do the
Yep.
survey and review and take, and usually it's a front facing photo of the property and.
yeah, so if you've looked at your property record card,
Yeah.
there's a photo of the house. Sometimes some of them are better than others. Actually, at our last reval, I did take quite a few new photos. But in the process of updating our software to a newest version, we lost a lot of those photos. So it's a necessity now because some of the photos that are in the system are 20 years old and they need to be updated. So as part of this process, I'll have the camera with me and I'll be updating photos again.
Okay. And what time of year do you normally do that?
The last 2 revals I started February, March. So as soon as I'm done with the grant list, it's get going. So there's plenty of stuff to do now. Create a new file, a reval file that's separate from our current 23 grand list file.
Yeah.
And then we send out sales questionnaires, all the sales that happened over the last year, and then do inspections on those. So once we're doing those in the process of getting ready for the review, which would happen once we sign off on the 23 grand list and get started on 24.
Okay. One request that I have regarding the revaluation, this might be for Brian, but also maybe working with you, Jason, is I think leading up to when you start doing that process of taking photos, I think it would be pertinent to send out an e-blast informing people what that process is. I think obviously we're getting into the holiday season and everybody is installing, door cameras and things that go out to the roads or, catch porch pirates, but we even get, random one-offs about on social media about residents concerned about vehicle, who it is, where it's from. As long as it's town, sometimes it's a third party doing something for a realtor. So I think it would be good to inform and educate residents so that when you are going out in a town issued vehicle, people aren't, questioning what's going on. They kind of, in general, at least have been provided the information and are educated about what that process is.
Yeah, in the past, we had put out e-blast, things like that, but I think what got everybody's attention was me actually driving Steve Werner's old Ford Explorer, which put me on social media with who is this guy? It wasn't marked up very well, so
Yeah.
that's a problem. So I think one of the things I would like to do as part of my miscellaneous costs would be to get some magnetics made up to the side that say something large that say
town calendar has a town seal, so yeah, people can.
Reevaluation projects.
One of the things we did, when I got here was I wanted the employees that are out and about to be readily identifiable. And Jason, I think you've got a big town assessor's jacket that
I do,
he
yeah.
actually wears out and about.
Right, green jacket.
Can't miss it. So with Jim and, Chris, I all have readily identifiable. I want them to be. So, yes, agree, and I'll work on that.
All right, thank you. Are there any questions from council members?
I was just gonna say, you put the thing, town assessor or revaluation, you're gonna get chased out of.
Yes. Risky business.
It wouldn't be any change from any other.
Yeah. Thank you for all you do for us. It's,
So,
Any other questions? All right, seeing none, I'll entertain a motion to approve the resolution as outlined in 8.2.
so moved.
So by Councilor Luba, is there a second?
Second.
All right, seconded by Councilor Murray. We'll do roll call vote. Councilman Yudichak,
Aye.
Councilor Luba,
Hi,
Councilman Nuccio,
Aye.
Vice Chair Egan. Aye. Councilor Khan. Councilor Murray.
Aye.
And I'm an aye, so that is unanimous. That brings us to 8.3, appointments and vacancies on various municipal boards and committees. We have one new appointment tonight under 8.3A, appointment to the Parks and Rec Advisory Board, and I believe we also have the applicant on Zoom tonight, Chris Jimenez. Actually, if you want to raise your hand, Chris, and you can hear us, give you an opportunity to introduce yourself to the council if you're there. If not, no worries at all. All right, ask you to unmute.
Hi, hello, how's it going?
Good.
So my name is Chris Jimenez. I'll keep it short to keep time going by. I moved here 4 years ago with my husband, and I feel like it's time for me to get involved in the town. In volunteering my time, and I think this would be the perfect opportunity to do that.
All right, great. Thank you, Chris. And I know that was positively referred to from the vetting committee. So are there any other questions or comments? Councilman Yudichak?
Since I'm a liaison for this advisory board, I think Chris will be great. He's young and probably has a lot of fresh ideas too. And Chris, I think you will enjoy working with Bruce Watts and the members on that particular board there. Great group, yeah.
All right. Any other comments or questions? Councilor Luba?
thank you, Mr. Chair. Yeah, that, Councilman Khan and I did review the application. We feel that he would be a great addition.
Thank you. So with that, I'll entertain a motion to approve the appointment as outlined in 8.3A.
I'll make that motion.
So by Councilman Yudichak, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilor Murray. I'll do the roll call vote. Councilman Yudichak,
Aye.
Councilor Luba,
Aye.
Councilman Nuccio.
Aye.
Vice Chair Egan. Aye. Councilor Khan. Councilor Murray.
Aye.
And I'm an aye, so that is unanimous. That brings us to item 9, old business, which there is none. So item 10, report of the town manager. And I know that came out earlier today or yesterday for the October report.
Yep. Here's one second to get online here. I had it included in my packet. Would you be terrible that was set up? I ran downstairs and grabbed it for 1 second.
No, that's fine.
It's not in the packet?
Oh, no, it's usually not, it's usually not.
It's a separate thing.
I'll double check to see if,
Sorry, I had notes on mine anyways, that I wanted to say.
okay, no worries. Well, actually, in that case, I was gonna say we can, add information and entertain a motion to, yeah, we'll move briefly on to item 11 and go back to item 10. So item 11, I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes as outlined in 11.1, 11.2.
So moved.
Second.
All right, seeing no further discussion, we'll do the roll call vote. Councilman Yudichak,
Aye.
Councilor Luba,
Aye.
Councilor Nuccio,
Aye.
Vice Chair Egan. Aye. Councilor Khan, Councilor Murray,
Aye.
and I'm an aye, so that is unanimous. That brings us to item 12, correspondence to council.
Sure, we had 2 emails since the 27th of September, one regarding recycling, and the second being an invitation to a ribbon cutting ceremony for Right at Home Tolland, which is happening tomorrow.
Thank you. That brings us to item 13, chairperson's report at the last chair hour of the term. And when resident come up for a very robust discussion, great time, gonna miss it. Hopefully whoever takes over after me will continue or move it to the first Thursday of the month. Tomorrow there'll be a CROG executive committee meeting regarding the executive director's review. I may see if Mr. Foley is available to attend that meeting, as I will have a conflict and cannot attend, but I believe he can attend in my stead for that role. And then I did receive a couple other communications, one from the Conservation Corps, providing an update on some land use and work that they're doing. And actually, one other item I forgot to update for groups responsible to the council, the Land Acquisition Advisory Committee is meeting tomorrow at 4:15 to go into executive session to discuss, I believe, the potential acquisition of the Tolland Marsh property. And I think there was one other communication that was sent to myself and Mr. Foley from the Siting Council regarding a Verizon Wireless notice for an existing community telecommunications facility located on Reed Road. So we received that decision from them. But with that, there's not anything else for the chairperson's report. So we'll move back to item 10 for the report of the town manager.
Great, thank you. Sorry for the delay. Harvest Fest this Saturday. Keep in mind weather, it will be weather dependent. If there is going to be a cancellation, I'll meet this week with Mary Pat and we'll come up with some sort of consensus on how it should move forward and then how it should be announced and decisions made. But rest assured, whatever way it goes, it'll be made clear. Hopefully weather will give us some definitive idea ahead of time. The tennis courts and multi-use pickleball courts at Crandall's are just about finished. We look to have a media event and to announce the latest steep reward as well. That should be within the next week or so. We should have some pretty decent interest in that, and again with the announcement as well as our current new steep award that we got. We're all very happy about that. Cider Mill Road Race went very well last week. Bruce Watt did a great job in assisting with that, and again, that's all for is it what's the initials?
I don't know.
It's like the elementary school or some.
Oh, PTO.
Yeah,
Pepto.
Pepto, yes, whatever, Pepto, yes, but it's all for a good cause. We're moving forward with a quarterly fiscal report for town council. And it'll be unfortunately the next town council, but I believe you guys had asked for that. Lisa, our financial director, will have a big say in what that is, and we meet, I believe, this week or next week to frame that sort of that out, whatever you feel is appropriate. As I mentioned before, we're coordinating with the foundation to hire a new librarian, and the applications have been robust coming in, as they have for the executive assistant position as well. We have an electronic recycling event coming up. I'll promote the heck out of that as it gets closer. That's done in conjunction with an outside vendor, Take Two, and has usually been fairly popular. Human services, I'm starting to like to get things rolling here with the opioid settlement money, and we'll likely look at hiring an addiction specialist on a contractual basis through HVCC. Our finance director is here, Lisa Hancock, and as you can see, or you may have read, she was elected as president of the GFOA. Is that accurate?
New England States GFOA.
Yes, while I was in Texas on a conference, someone actually mentioned that to me. So it was impressive. And then she also, once again, won an award for the presentation of our budget. Is that accurate?
Financial audit report.
That right?
Financial report.
And the letter of that is attached. So Lisa, thank you so much. I'd be lost without you. So I appreciate it. I'm glad that you're getting recognized. I'm worried that the New England states are going to kidnap you, but
Just for a year.
that's fine. I want to thank everyone that assisted in my stead as I was gone in Texas. As you know, there was some events, and everyone pitched in. I'm never leaving again. I went to there's a senior, for lack of a better word, a senior care facility, and the name escapes me here. I know it's in the report. I went down and watched the firemen do a demonstration with the seniors down there, senior moments down on the other end of town there. And the fire department just did a great job, working with the adults there and have shown them how to put out fires and staff as well. So they did a great job as well. There's currently a rollover that the fire department's responding to. I'll get into that when I get out of here. That's all I have. Any questions?
Any questions from council members? Councilmember, are you nodding?
I have questions.
Yes, go ahead.
I don't know. I have questions about, why can't I find it now that I want? The, evaluation of one of there we go, architectural plans for the exterior renovations of the county jail museum.
Yes.
So this is in your report. It sounds like we received the grant. Am I reading that right? But we're waiting for some more information.
We received the grant on design.
Right.
And I have a meeting with everyone involved Thursday.
Okay.
To discuss this at length. This is really just coming across
Yeah.
my desk now as we're starting to move beyond or look to move beyond the design
Yeah.
aspect of it and then the rebuild, which is looking to be costly.
Yes.
And I would be, as you can imagine, extremely cautious in moving forward.
Yeah.
In that realm. So that meeting is this week. Megan's bringing everything up and it was all the everyone, the stakeholders involved, put it that way.
Okay. Yes, I think this has been something we've talked about before, where tentatively on the capital plan, the improvements, not the design of the improvement, but the actual improvements, we were considering funding with ARPA dollars. And I know we're coming up against the deadline for spending ARPA dollars. And so I'm glad to see that we have the contract in place for the design, but I'm worried about the timing of having the design executed so that we can then use the ARPA funds, if they're approved, to execute that design, right? So
And-
I'm worried about the time.
Got it. I'm worried about the cost. That was a big number. I just scanning it.
Okay,
But it's something we'll look to address and understood your timeline and it may be a convenience, possibly.
okay. So this is the plan, okay, I'm sorry, maybe I misunderstand. Have the plans and specs been completed? Is that what this is? Or this is a grant to move forward with plans and specs?
Move forward with the plans and specs. If there's some disagreement as to what should be done, and that's what the meeting's gonna be.
Oh, okay,
Moving forward. with this.
Yeah.
That will eventually affect the actual costs depending on what we do. And
okay,
I'm certain there will be some disagreements,
yeah,
but we'll hopefully get through
okay. Excellent. I will talk to you more about that too. I'm very interested in that. I don't know, is now a good time to ask questions about the police activity from last week?
Yeah, that'd be fine.
them. Time as any.
Yeah,
Do you want me to just say open-ended? Can you give us some more information about the police activity that occurred while you were gone last week?
Yeah, this is all secondhand, that I was getting, while in, another part of the country, unfortunately. And basically, in a nutshell, what had happened was at some point, the day escapes me now, so would that have been Wednesday?
I think it was Tuesday night. Into Wednesday.
Tuesday into
Yeah.
Wednesday, yeah. So at some point on Tuesday, a car goes into the bridge, basically between 68 and 69, really close, right by the high school. The guy and the cops, there's a cop working construction. He leaves the construction site and goes and looks. When he gets there, the guy that had crashed the car, took off in the woods towards the high school. A search ensued, a prolonged search then ensued. More and more resources were dedicated by the Connecticut State Police to include canine and air support, drone support, thermal imagery, and such. A lot of stuff that you'd see in any search and rescue type operation. It extended well into the next day and into the afternoon, impacting schools and obviously creating quite a stir here in town with police activity in neighborhoods.
So I guess one of the questions, do you wanna,
Yeah, sure. If it's
is that okay? Can I yield to the council?
Sure, Councilman Jago.
That's fine. So, yeah, just some residents have, right, this is what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Some residents have brought to my attention about the Everbridge.
Yep.
And I had talked to Brian actually earlier, so I think, I told him that this will probably get brought up tonight and maybe, and he looked into it further. The reasons why the Everbridge, was not used. So I'm assuming Brian did his homework and could inform us why it was not used.
So the Connecticut State Police have the Everbridge system, among other things. And this was entirely a police incident. It did not involve our fire department. It did not involve or any of our other departments. And we were at the will of the Connecticut State Police on this. And if their judgment was not to use this, I would say that if you didn't like that judgment, we could look into it further as we have on other things that we didn't like that they did. That being said, I can tell you that there was no identifiable threat. They had video that was crystal clear. He was unarmed. No felonies to speak of. They were able to identify the gentleman in short order on scene on the Tuesday night and realized that he had arrest warrants from around the country, all of them non-extraditable, meaning that they were all smaller crimes that they weren't gonna pay money to get out. That they were able to actually extradite him, I believe, to Iowa or Idaho. I can't remember which one. So if the Connecticut State Police were to tell us there is a shelter in place for a neighborhood, that is entirely their call. And then they have protocols in which they do to issue it. If they have their notification processes that they make. Again, we can't guess what they're doing. We can't go secondhand. You know, I heard from this guy and that's basically what we were getting. I was going through Trooper Eklund. If there's gonna be an official message on law enforcement, we don't know what they want us to put out. Do they want us telling it, the public they're on a certain street or moving in a certain direction? It's all entirely on a police department to pull that off. They opted not to. And I'm never one to not question the law enforcement. That's something that I have to agree with them in regards to.
And I think another point that probably would have also conflicted with them was that Wednesday, the 4th, was the nationwide test of the national emergency system. So there might have been some conflicts or some potential issues there that would have created a very huge headache of, is this an actual emergency? Is it not? But obviously, you know, we're kind of secondhand quarterbacking what decisions the Connecticut State Police and Troop C had made.
It already caused a headache.
Yeah.
But yes, I look at it. There was no identifiable threat. I mean, it was, you know, there's police activity. I have great concerns with the communication of law enforcement and communications from the Connecticut State Police. I was tasked with doing my best to adjust that when I was there. In an effort to bridge that communication gap, there's so many layers before they can put stuff out. I try to put stuff out as fast as I can, understanding that I have some knowledge on how not to jeopardize safety or an investigation or taint a jury or anything else when I put stuff out. So we have that advantage where I can put stuff out fast. But again, all that information is typically subject to change. But the best information I have at the time, but certainly not anything that's been completely vetted and validated by the Connecticut State Police.
Any other questions or comments?
Yeah, I don't think I disagree a little bit, just talking to the residents, especially when they live in that particular area and other people, but if you feel comfortable that you believe that they made the right decision, then I feel comfortable with you. I mean, is there something that
I think they could have communicated better.
but as far
There's
as,
no doubt about that.
I mean, as far as the ever particular
What?
Everbridge, the
The Everbridge network.
Everbridge
Yeah.
network was not used.
We have it, but again, they didn't give us anything official and say, hey, you need to put this out.
Yeah.
We would need them to do that. And then if we didn't do it, then shame on us.
I guess is
But
it,
they also have Everbridge in
Right.
here, isolated area. They could put it out as they did that time on the green,
yeah,
which was very effective.
okay.
And I have to, that works fantastic when they did it. Fantastic. And they did a
Yeah,
great job.
they did. a good job.
So you gotta be careful when you put it out. I'd love for them to communicate more. We're working on it and our resident troopers have a Facebook page and, could it have hurt for them to do an Everbridge? I don't think it could have hurt.
Yeah.
Judgment call though.
Is that something you must, you keep in contact, obviously with Troop C or whatever, when there's something going on? Is that something that you would talk to them about, like say, maybe we should reach out, do something else? I mean, you did a great job on social media, I think, but
There would be an incident commander who would make those decisions. And there's a lot, again, as I said before, there's a lot to weigh in those decisions.
yeah,
Are we jeopardizing the investigation? Putting out information, will it lead to greater advantage to the suspect escaping? Will it put anybody in danger? There's a lot to weigh, and that's the incident commander's decision. Unfortunately, could I nudge? And
yeah. That's what.
we did ask them to put stuff out, and they were putting it out on Atlas One. They did do a good job with Atlas One that day. Not everyone has it.
Yeah, I don't care.
But we did, we did a lot. But I understand people's concerns. You see cops running around the neighborhood, you want something official put out. Not their greatest strength.
Okay, so, I don't know, Katie, if you had any follow-up questions, but yeah, that was.
Yeah, I think, I think we need to work on better community relations between Troop C, our resident state trooper, and the residents of Tolland.
Amen.
And I think that it would be great, it would be wonderful to see Troop C take a leadership role in that community relationship development. It would be a great opportunity for them to become kind of more involved with the community and to build some community trust. I think if Troop C is not willing or able to do that type of community building, then maybe we need to see what Eklund could offer us or what we could facilitate as a town with the troop. We have a really good situation, or potential for a very good situation to have Troop C in town. It is a wonderful resource that we uniquely have. And yet we've had a series of events over the past year or so that, and maybe even longer, I don't know, that have not have instilled some distrust. And that's very unfortunate. And I think it would be great to see a way for us as a community to have some better interaction with Troop C. And I think it's a great opportunity for them. Anything I think you could do to help foster that would be greatly appreciated.
So I agree on all that, everything, but I'm no apologist to the Connecticut State Police. Kevin Troop Eklund does a great job. And I believe he does the best he can in regards to community outreach. And I do think our community trusts and embraces the safety that he provides. Troop C is stripped down staffing wise. I know they want to engage in more community relations. And also keep in mind that it's very transient right now. You have so many people moving in and out of positions that in order to establish trust and get to know a community, you gotta be in there for a while. It's great when you first get there and knock on doors, talk to businessmen and women and introduce yourself but again, it takes a while to have like a true practice. He's not gonna be here forever.
No,
And we'll look for somebody else to step up, but I couldn't agree more. I wish they had the resources to be here more, and I will ask Kevin, is there anything else we can do? They come to our Harvest Fest, they come to all of our events, they're pretty decent, but again, I think it comes down to communication and the speed of the communication. in these incidents that have, really caused the problem for lack of transparency.
Yeah, yes, agreed. It would be great if we as a community had an assumption of trust. Right? And I'm worried that right now we don't have that assumption of trust. And therefore the communication challenges are assumed, we assume the worst.
Yep.
As a community. Whereas if we had a better community relationship, we would have an assumption that they're doing, you know, we need them to do their thing. That's the most important thing. And then they are gonna get to us afterwards.
Yes.
And that's where, you know, an investment in community relations would kind of give them a little bit more wiggle room, if you will, on any impediments that they might otherwise experience.
So let me remind you of one thing and similar to, our finance director, doing a quarterly update.
Yeah, I know,
Detailed in my MOU
Yeah.
with the Connecticut State Police that
absolutely.
somebody's here quarterly here to give a crime
Yeah.
update. And what a great spot to talk about community things they do
Yeah.
and build trust,
Yeah,
in the community. And that's kind of how I framed it out with them as well. So, we'll see what happens.
okay. Well, if there's anything we can do, I think, as a council, whether it's this council or the next council, to advocate for that, please let us know.
You know, it's not the individual troopers' fault.
Of course.
It's, you know, it's a structural,
Yeah.
they are stripped down, they're down hundreds of troopers right now. So again, I think it's important for us to express our confidence in the state police and the resident troopers. Again, and I'm no apologist, but I think, when it comes down to saving lives, and being great cops, they get the job done. But agree, let's move forward, Katie, and talk about ways to get them involved in the community.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilman, did you have any hearings?
Yes, I did. Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. And I just want to sort of build on what's being discussed and what's been elaborated on so far. I think Mr. Foley's hit it pretty much on the head, but having, you know, dealing with multiple troops across the entire state, that this is not an isolated incident. And that while we have the luxury of having troops co-located with us, we are one of 20 different towns that they deal with, and that they have a responsibility to everybody. And so, again, I'm not making any apologies, I'm not making any excuses for it, but we are that the state police is down approximately 500 troopers right now across the state. And that they're doing the best they can, and it is something where the incident commander is the one that makes the decision on scene, but that when it comes to issues regarding public notification, that has to go up the chain. And by the time that it goes up the chain and gets approved by a higher level, that either the incident's already over with, or that the information that they're providing is outdated. So it's a very difficult thing, having, you know, being familiar with law enforcement operations like this as well. They're always fluid, flexible, and you're always trying to balance between what you can put out and what you shouldn't, because if you're putting out to the public, chances are the person that you're looking for is also going to get it as well. So there's that delicate balance. I know that the state troopers, both the resident state troopers as well, the troopers in Troop C, and all the police agencies around the area do the best they can. And I would like to say that as a town, we should have our full trust in them, even though I know it's difficult that sometimes that they're always out there and they're always trying to do the best that they can. So thank you very much, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Councilor Luba. Any other comments or questions?
I did, but not.
Not related to this, yeah. Yeah, go ahead, or for town manager report though?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
I missed the moment. Congratulations, Lisa, on all your accomplishment and awards and all these things. That's great. Town of Tolland is definitely lucky to have you. So congratulations.
Thank you.
And then, I know it's under in the fire department. Any update with Chief Littell able to put down the deposit on the backup ambulance?
Yes, moving forward.
Okay.
Yep.
Is there a timeline when that might arrive and?
Geez, we discussed it this morning.
That's okay if you don't know.
It's moving forward.
Okay.
It never goes as fast as you want it to go, let me put it that way, but yes.
Was he, I thought he said in the ARPA committee that he can have a couple guys.
No.
To go down, they didn't get a chance to look at it.
No, he's rearranging that now.
Oh, just wanted to follow up on that. And that's it, yeah.
Thank you. Any other comments or questions? All right, seeing none, we'll move to 14. Yeah, we did other stuff, so but jumping ahead to 14, communications petitions from council members. So any petitions, can put those forward.
I think oh, yeah, I do. I have two things.
All right, Tina,
So I was coming to town hall today. I noticed Public Works was out putting up the fence, the orange fence over here, and I just wanted to give out a little shout out to them for thanking them for their hard work and getting Saturday ready. So that is great. And then Katie touched on it too during her correspondence to no wait, something you touched base on earlier about the cutting of the ribbon tomorrow for the new business,
we said 5 o'clock.
5 o'clock, right at home. She reached out to me and I know she's hoping that, members of the council and Mr. Foley can also be there if possible. So, yeah,
I'll be there. Brian will be there, Mr. Foley.
I'll probably be there too because I know the vice chair, no, not the vice chair. She's one of the top people there. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Janice, yep, she's great.
Council Luba?
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. I think it's great what we're gonna have going on in the green this weekend. It could be even better if we had a sidewalk for it. Just my input.
And
All right. Any communications, seeing none, we go to 15, public participation on any subject in the jurisdiction of the town council with a 3-minute limit. If you're on Zoom, you can hit the raise hand function or *9. Or if you're in public, but I believe you have no remaining public residents, so Sean Lappin will unmute you to go first.
Hello, thank you very much. Sean Lappin, 168 Mountain Spring Road. It is good to hear the thoughts and ideas and proposals put forth by the Road Salt Task Force liaison and championed by Councilmember Nuccio. These seek to bring more transparency to the process and to potentially add more input from the public. I would happily volunteer to be a part of this task force if needed. That being said, I still would like to stress the urgency of this matter and my concern that some of the gains that have been made could be lost with the new incoming town council. It is frustrating to hear the current council is looking to defer some of these decisions to the incoming new council, which at its earliest meeting date would be November 14th, which is over a month from now. Thank you.
Thank you, Sean. Is there anyone else on Zoom that would like to participate? You can hit *9 or raise hand function. All right, going once, going twice, 3 times, closing public participation. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn at 8:30 p.m.
So moved.
Second by Council Luba, second by Council Free. We'll do roll call vote. Councilman Yudichak,
Hi.
Councilor Luba,
Aye.
Councilman Nuccio,
Aye.
Vice Chair Regan. Aye. Councilor Khan.
Aye.
Councilman Murray.
Hi.
And I'm an aye, so that's unanimous. We are adjourned at 8:30 p.m. Thank you, everyone. Have a great night.